Hello, welcome everyone to Industries Live from our AWS and Amazon Web Services partner team. This is a show we stream every other Tuesday, and it's a really interesting show where we get to talk to our AWS partners that have solutions that are really specifically addressing some of those interesting and emerging industry needs. And what we get to do is we get to hear firsthand from our partners to see what are those trends they're seeing and how are they cleverly building on AWS to deliver solutions that really address those needs and deliver value to customers and get a full round of that insight. So my name is Jason O'Malley. I'm a senior partner solutions architect here at AWS, and I'm part of our industry and solutions team globally. And I work on the telecom team. This is going to be a telecom themed episode. And I'm from Chicago. I wanted to mention at the top, I'm from Chicago. And I mentioned that because if you're in the chat, if you've joined before, it'd be great to hear where you're joining in from and see where our audience is calling in from. And I will now pass it off to my other colleague from Tennessee, Ryan Sowell, to give an introduction for himself.
Thank you, Jason. And good morning, good afternoon. I'm Ryan Sowell. I'm the Senior Partner Development Specialist for Telco at AWS worldwide. And in my role, I get to work closely with our Telco Industry Business Unit go-to-market team in developing industry line of business solutions. And today, we have a special guest from our Telco go-to-market specialist team with us, Mr. Glenn Hoffer. Glenn, would you like to introduce yourself and share your thoughts on the exciting market innovations we'll be exploring today?
You bet, Ryan, and thanks again. Great to be a part of this live stream, and thanks everyone for joining. I'm part of the AWS telecommunications industry go-to-market, so my focus is really on customer experience innovation and automation. And it's really around focusing and enabling telcos to provide higher value experiences to the customers and businesses that they serve. And it's really an exciting time. Today, we'll be exploring generative AI enabled customer experience innovation within the telecommunications industry. We're going to look at the latest advances in conversational AI and its ability to enable more sophisticated customer self-service. Vonage will be highlighting their innovation in this area. And then we're going to see how generative AI is unlocking new revenue channels for telecommunication companies, really to be able to deliver enterprise-grade customer experience to the smallest of businesses with the Digiclarity solution.
Great, thank you, Glenn. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for joining us, Glenn.
You bet.
And then at this point, I think we're ready to welcome on our first guests from Vonage. So today we're going to have Lawrence Bird, sorry about that, head of API product marketing. And then we have Oscar Rodriguez, who's the senior director of solutions engineering global. And they're both coming from Vonage. So Lawrence, would you like to say hello and introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm based in Silicon Valley. I've been at Vonage for 7 years, but as you can see from my hair, I've been in communication software for many, many years. Vonage provides API building blocks. We've been in this business for 15 years. We also do provide contact center and unified communications applications, but we're here to talk about APIs. So components for voice and video and messaging and SMS and WhatsApp and fraud protection that would be embedded in your application. We work with tens of thousands of customers worldwide, and anything smart we have to say today, we have learned from you, our customers, and the privilege we have of working with so many customers across many industries. APIs are used in many industries. We're a part of Ericsson, the big company that is the leader in 5G networks around the world, and we're working with them in bringing new capabilities from the network that will help with fraud, that will help with quality of connection to communications. But that's beyond today's topic, which is focused on AI. Maybe we'll come back and talk about the power of the network. So, Oscar.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for having us. I'm Oscar Rodriguez, based in Southern California. I've been with Vonage for over a decade, but I've worked in web technologies for almost 25 years. I currently lead the global partner solutions team, helping our resale partners go to market with our APIs and solutions through connectors and integrations, both of which are driven by customer demand. I also work with my colleagues in the strategic partnership team and our AWS counterparts on innovation projects that we can take to market together through co-sell activities or the AWS marketplace, where we have several of our projects already listed. By the way, our audience too can innovate with AWS and Vonage. Our APIs are easy to use. You can sign up for free at developer.vonage.com. It's pay as you go. So, and we also have a startup program with a lot of great benefits.
Thanks, Lawrence. Thanks, Oscar. And I wanted to mention before we dive in that as we're going through and having this conversation, please, just like we asked, if you tell us your location, but also if you have questions or comments or thoughts throughout the episode, we'd love to hear what you think of the conversation. So with that, Glenn, did you have a question you'd like to start us off with?
Yeah, Lawrence and Oscar, there's, as we know, there's a lot of very important industry trends that are happening, and interested to learn more about how your company and your solutions are fitting the broader landscape of how companies are leveraging APIs to truly innovate with some of your services.
I think the key trend that we've always seen for APIs is that people are building apps, and the apps have to have a better customer experience. The canonical example is Uber, that took over entire industries on the strength of just a different app experience and a different process flow for customers and a different payment flow. So we serve everybody from two people in a garage through emerging startups and disruptive companies to industry platforms to enterprises that are building digital transformation initiatives. What we're seeing is that there's a sort of new generation of capabilities, and you have to keep up with those if you're going to have a good brand experience. There are things like rich messaging. Why are you not using WhatsApp and RCS, SMS? Nobody responds to SMS anymore. It looks like spam. Nobody answers the phone anymore. Why on earth are you making random phone calls that are not integrated into your applications? Why is there not more video? Why can I never see? I can see my grandparents, but I can't see you, the business. And then right in the middle of that is a huge mountain, which is how do I automate those experiences with AI? So we see AI as part of this general improvement in brand experiences. And we're excited by the potential of AWS Novasonic that we're going to talk about to make that more accessible. Yes, it's an innovation in AI capabilities, but all of us here are still calling up businesses and being asked to press 1 for frustration and 2 for something else. And why is it that they've not managed to move to a good speech interface? And the answer is it takes time, it takes effort. And so we're looking at how do these technologies make it easier, make it more practical. And that's what we want to talk about today is the Novasonic approach.
Yeah, for those of you who are new to Amazon Novasonic, it's a foundational model that is part of the Amazon Nova family and offered through Amazon Bedrock. It's a native speech-to-speech model. So from an implementation perspective, you save a lot of time not having to use different models for speech-to-text and language models to understand and generate responses. And because it's available through Amazon Bedrock, you can leverage tools such as RAG for knowledge-based DIPs, MCP for data access, prompt management, and even testing tools. All of this combined makes Novasonic the perfect choice for building AI agents into omni-channel customer experiences, whether it's adding it to your contact center to handle frequently called about topics like order status, account balances, appointment rescheduling, or even mixing channels. I was actually talking about that the other day with my colleagues. You can imagine an AI voice agent that can send you real-time RCS messages to aid in the conversation, like sending you a selection of products or cruise packages, for example, as an RCS message, of course, powered by Amazon Novasonic and the Vonage voice communication APIs. So, I mean, I think that would be a pretty cool use case, actually.
Thanks, Lawrence and Oscar. And I know, Oscar, you brought up with Amazon Novasonic, which, as you mentioned, is one of our newest members of those foundational models, but the key difference is it's speech to speech, so it allows that conversational flow. And one of the really cool things was just this past summer at the New York AWS Summit, you had shown your latest solution that integrates with Novasonic. And so I'm thinking actually this would actually be a good time to take a look at that, and then we can dive in a little bit deeper. So Jeffrey,
yeah, just real quick, tee it up. So the demo that we're about to show you is from our participation at the AWS Summit in New York this past July. Leading up to the event, we had the opportunity to work with the Amazon Novasonic team on a virtual assistant that attendees could call to get general information about the event, such as the venue's address, session information, and schedules, sponsors, and FAQs. It took about a week to build by a team of non-AI experts on the Vonage side. So just goes to show how easy it is to build with Amazon Novasonic. Added support barge in, noise suppression, so attendees can call from the potentially loud show floor. It also had to leverage RAG specific to the event. The AWS team promoted the phone number through the event app, and we also printed a QR code on our t-shirts, so people were able to scan it from our shirt and call and get information. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look.
It's really.
Hello, I am Diana, your AI voice agent for the AWS Summit New York. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, I was wondering, when is the summit and where in New York City will it be held?
The AWS Summit is on July 16th, 2025, and it's taking place at the Javits Center in New York.
And what is the topic of the keynote session?
The topic of the keynote session is, in the era of generative AI, companies of every size and industry are wondering, how can AI transform my business?
And who will be giving that keynote?
Swami Subba Subramanian, AWS VP of Agentic
Will
AI.
there be a session on Amazon Novasonic?
There will be a session on Amazon Novasonic. It is a state-of-the-art speech-to-speech model that delivers real-time, human-like voice conversations.
Very good. So that I like how you kind of interrupted too to show how it can respond dynamically. It's a nice little touch there. You want to talk to us a little bit about sort of like how Amazon Novasonic integrates, what you found along the way?
Yeah, so I think we have a diagram teed up there. We can show that on the screen. So here's a high-level diagram of the implementation. As the call comes into the Vonage voice API, we send it through our Novasonic connector, which adds a WebSocket leg to the call for bidirectional audio. And by the way, we've had the ability to connect a WebSocket endpoint into a call for quite some time now. So we have a lot of experience with real-time call processing use cases. And so back to the diagram, the connector then sends the caller's audio stream to Amazon Novasonic, which processes the utterance, also leveraging any tools that it needs to respond to the request, and then returns the audio stream back. The audio is played back into the call through the same WebSocket. And we support integrations into contact centers over SIP or PSTN for both inbound and outbound calls. And we also support inbound and outbound calls from a web page or a mobile app. Lawrence?
Okay, so the Novasonic integration, just to make clear, is the latest in years of working with AWS. We have AWS AI technologies across our portfolio doing things like text-to-speech voices, speech recognition, captions, transcription, and we're even using recognition for visual analysis. So Novasonic builds on a lot of work that we've done with AWS. And we also announced a year ago work in fraud protection, where the recognition for visual identity checking is part of the work we're doing in helping people about fraud. So what you're seeing here is the focus on Novasonic as a way of very quickly, right? Oscar's team, who he claims is not an AI expert, was able to put this up in a week. We were able to sort of just download knowledge and get knowledge about the event so that the Diana agent there was able to talk sensibly about the event and any session you asked for from any vendor, work out when it was, where it was, just based on knowledge that we sort of pulled off the website and off the other elements. So I hope we've shown how natural the voice was, how it was knowledgeable about the event. It even pronounced the names of your executives right, and was able to sort of navigate its way around. And we'll put up a QR code at the end where you can go listen to a longer version of that demo and also talk to Diana yourself to see what it's all about.
So Lawrence, Oscar. But can you walk us through any early customer feedback you had and any use cases in particular Diana excels at?
Yeah. So in general, as I said, our APIs are used across industries. So whether you're in a better help session in healthcare or in a virtual nursing session, whether you're have a neobank, we have a customer Lydia we recently announced you'll find on our website, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's startups. The Novasonic work has just begun in July because the model itself was released in April, and we had the integration in place in July. And Oscar will start talking about some early healthcare use cases that we're looking at, where obviously there's a lot of information to be imparted to customers that's sort of difficult to get through without a person unless you have a more sophisticated AI model.
Yeah, so we're currently working on several POCs. One in particular that we just developed for a client has to do with the verification over the phone of health or dental insurance, including claim status. Believe it or not, insurance verification by phone is still very common in the industry, especially for the smaller providers. These types of systems use outdated IVR menus to authenticate the provider and to navigate the different menu options. With Novasonic and the Vonage Voice API, we're making it easier for providers to get what they need in a fast, secure, and reliable way. All they have to do is say their provider ID, member ID, or claim ID in a natural language, as if you were talking to a live person. So there's no need to mess around with the phone's keypad and enter long ID numbers. One thing to note is that once we replace the IVR or at least augment it with AI agents, these same agents are capable of handling routine tasks across different channels such as voice, video, and messaging, and even seamlessly escalate to a human when needed, and can even take back control to complete a transaction, for example. It's all about omni-channel continuity and blending automation with that human touch. It's also worth pointing out that complete AI solutions are inherently multi-vendor, and Vonage is also working with other AWS partners such as Digiclarity, who I believe will be on in an upcoming show. Yeah, so that's our experience so far, and we're looking forward to expanding our expertise on Novasonic.
Great. I was curious, Lawrence and Oscar, you integrated this very fast as a new service. I'm curious, like any like context you can share about like what, the prior state versus like what you learned along the way, or any insights along the way about what the new service either allowed or even the speech-to-speech dynamic allowed?
I'll comment first and then ask Oscar to comment. The speech-to-speech is huge, right? You're not needing experts that are busy turning, you don't have all these pieces. You're turning speech into text, you're putting text into the engine, you're getting it out, you're trying to get it spoken right, you're trying to check it. Novasonic is quite remarkable in that you talk and the agent talks back, and all the logic about how to do that and how to think about having a conversation is already in the model. So we think the speech-to-speech is innovative. Being embedded in the Bedrock toolset, as we said, this is a RAG, which is an acronym for retrieval or augmented generation, which means you're living on an underlying, large language model or foundational model, but you're augmenting it and focusing the conversation. As we know, one of the challenges with AI is that AI can easily go off script and start talking about other things. You want to keep it focused, and a knowledge-based approach where you say, this is the knowledge I want you to talk about, and then you fine-tune the prompt is a way of very quickly getting an agent that applies all the underlying foundational capabilities, but applies it in a very kind of focused way. And maybe you want to comment, Oscar, on how we found the AWS tooling. And I think it's a testament to, AWS has been doing AI, as I said before, and we've been using it for some years now. This isn't just a brand new idea. This is building on years of experience, building on the Bedrock experience but producing a new, much faster speech-to-speech approach for these kind of AI agents. Oscar.
Yeah, so I would say it's once you get the audio streams back and forth, the WebSocket integration between the two platforms, and we have a connector which we've put out on GitHub. So if anybody's interested in working with us, we provide that to you to get you started fairly quickly. But once you get that working, the next thing is pretty much just refining your prompt, refining your tooling, making sure that you get the model the data access that it needs to service those utterances. And so you have more time to do that, and in the end, you come out with a much better user experience because it's getting the right data, it's answering the right questions, etc.
Yeah, I think that's really compelling too. And I think we got a few minutes. I was curious, on the architecture slide, I did notice that you have sort of the directional item at the bottom for model context protocol, MCP agents and such. I'm curious, just generally, any thoughts, like kind of how you see that? It's early days, but how you see that potentially evolving within the industry or within your solutions?
Yeah, so it's something that's, for example, MCP is really taken off. I mean, it's something that we're looking into. We want to get all our APIs into some type of MCP tool that can be leveraged across AI systems. We're going to likely start with Novasonic, but yeah, making it uniform across the industry, making it easy for developers to leverage these tools and get what they need, whether it's being able to send an RCS message or get number insights, for example, from our identity insight products. That's something that's going to be really interesting as we start getting these MCP tools out there in the market.
And for the audience here, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's a protocol for connecting AI engines to backend data, created originally by Anthropic, but being used by a whole range of vendors, and it's used within the Novasonic product. I'm old enough to remember every form of EDI known to man, but it's good to see a new AI-focused way of connecting applications to data that people are adopting. The most important thing is people adopt it rather than exactly how it works, but it's focused on being a modern interface for getting hold of data. So that, like, for example, in the healthcare use case that we talked about, you're not simply finding your way through the complex sort of set of plans and you're saying, well, your plan allows you to do this, but not that. But you're actually able to see from the data, does the patient have plan type A, B, or C, which is going to make a difference in how I explain it, so that you're leveraging data to make the AI agent more independent, more agentic, if you like, that it's able to work out what it needs to be talking about from specific data about the patient or the plan that's been looked at. So we think that kind of data integration is key. That's always been sort of fundamental to APIs. APIs are doing the talking to your customer, but somewhere the data is coming from a CRM application, from a database, from our customers' apps. Our customers obviously building apps, many of which are running on AWS. They're using databases of various kinds. And we want to say to them, well, look, your app could be using an AI agent. You could build it very quickly, and then it could appear within your applications, within your mobile app, within your phone calls. And we will be showing shortly agents popping up in your video sessions. So we'll get somebody to be you, Jason, here in the coming in. So integration is the name of the game with APIs. And as we've talked about, better brand experiences, customer experiences, what customers are trying to do.
It's great. I love to hear that overview. The solutions architect community here is very excited about MCP and agents. So it's really nice to hear kind of how you're thinking about it and integrating within the ecosystem. So I think with that, we got a couple minutes left. Lawrence, Oscar, any sort of closing thoughts, things you're excited about, things you'd like to highlight?
Vonage is making AI practical, integrating the latest innovations like Novasonic into moments of communication across channels with customers. This latest approach is very flexible and efficient, both on the knowledge management side from Novasonic, and on the flexible use of Vonage APIs to integrate into all kinds of communication flows.
And I would say that the flexibility and the kind of rapid development with Novasonic makes it accessible to all kinds of business, right? If you're a startup or an emerging company trying to disrupt an industry, use AI to help you disrupt the industry. If you're a traditional enterprise moving slowly, you can get moving faster with Novasonic without too much AI expertise, providing you understand knowledge and conversations and a little bit of prompt engineering. And then if you're a company in the middle, if you're a platform provider to enterprises, whether it's a healthcare platform or any other kind of platform, you've got to compete with the startups and and show that you're able to deliver rich experiences. So this is all about digital business, digital transformation for enterprises, and ways of building a better experience. And AI agents are just a necessary part of your experience. So make them a fun part with Novasonic. And if we can bring up a closing slide here, you can find out more by scanning the QR code here or going to vonage.com. And the QR code, you can see the code there if it doesn't scan. That will allow you to talk to the AI agent that we demoed, watch the full demo, get access to white papers. AWS wrote a blog on this exact integration. So there's an AWS blog on the integration. There's a press release from Vonage where we announced it at the Summit show. And we'll be back at future AWS shows showing more and more Novasonic integrations, as well as our broad use of AWS AI across the portfolio. And as Oscar said, there's a startup program if you're a startup, or there's all sorts of programs to get started. APIs are easy. You get started, you sign up for an account, documentation's all online, SDKs are all online. The integration that we just demoed is sitting there openly on GitHub, and you can get started, and you only pay as you go, so it doesn't cost a lot of money until you're doing serious business with your customers, and that's where we all want to get to. So welcome, and come talk to us. And thank you, Jason, Ryan, and Glenn, for hosting us today.
Thank
It's been fun talking about AWS products and how we can use them.
Great. No, thanks so much for sharing your insights. And I got to say, one of the best demo ideas of being able to actually interact with it. There's not as many cloud demos that you can do that. So hats off to the Vonage team for coming up with that. Well, with that, thanks so much, Oscar and Lawrence. Thanks for joining us. We're going to wrap up this section, and we'll be back in just a few moments with our next guest, which will be Jason Keel from Digiclarity. Hello, everyone. In case you're just joining us and joining the stream, this is Industries Live on AWS. So what this is a stream focused on the industries and how some of our industry partners are solving challenges for the industries by building cloud solutions running on AWS. And in this series, we talk about what are those insights they're seeing directly from the industry, what are the clever ways that they're building on AWS and to solve those challenges, and getting some insights about what is happening within that. This episode, we're taking a little bit of a lens on telecom, but because of the nature of it, where it is customer experience, it actually expands out beyond just telecom, and sometimes a telecom solution that solves the needs of other industries and other business levels. So with this section, I'm going to introduce as well, in case you're just joining in, my co-hosts today. So Ryan, would you like to say another hello?
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I'm Ryan Sowell, and I'm the AWS Senior Partner Development Specialist for Telco Worldwide. And as Jason mentioned, today we're exploring how Gen AI is changing the customer experience landscape with an eye on the telecommunications industry. We just concluded a fascinating conversation with Lawrence and Oscar from Vonage learning about how their recent innovations with Amazon Novasonic and the use cases that this exciting technology unlocks. So now I'm pleased to introduce our next partner, Digiclarity, to learn how they're using AWS Gen AI services to open up new SMB markets for telcos to serve. And we also have our special guest with us, Glenn, from our telco industry business unit here at AWS. Glenn, you want to say another quick hello to the viewers?
Yeah, great to see everybody again. Yeah, I support the go-to-market for the telcos, and specifically them being able to approach the small businesses and provide a real high-value service to them. That's what we're excited to see from Jason and Digiclarity today.
And Jason, welcome onto the stream.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for having me. It's an honor to be with you guys this morning.
Jason, we will go in a little bit deeper, but would you like to just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little background as we kick off?
No, absolutely. Yeah. So Jason Keel, I am managing partner at Digiclarity, a company I co-founded back in 2012 to really help customers modernize their applications. That was in a time where cloud was such a buzzword, kind of like AI is today. And so started that back in 2012. But I've been working in tech all the way back to when I was a kid, modding for our Twitch fans out there, modding SimCity 2000, building in the SimCity developer kit. So I've been working. Love working in technology for all those years, and just kind of loved that sandbox vibe where you're optimizing and building, and I've just taken that with me all the way up to the present. I will say I had a few side quests over the years that kind of helped shape the small business platform that we're going to be talking about a little later. I somehow talked my wife into remodeling houses many years back, and that really got me in the front line of working with small businesses. And you really see how difficult it is. I'm sitting there leveling a floor, helping lay tile up in the attics, working alongside these professionals, and you really see how difficult it is to scale. And we'll talk about that a little later. But up until today, now I look after our delivery and execution of products for our customers, and have been hyper focused on our small medium business platform that we're going to talk about today, and how that can help small businesses, and also how it can help telcos offer value as well.
I will mention, Jason, you called out, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn Live. Yeah. And we did Eerie Edits did mention that side quests do make life more fun. So I think you got some validation.
Absolutely.
What would life be without some side quests?
You got to get that 100%. That's what we're all striving for.
For anyone in the chat, feel free. We'd love to hear from you. If you have questions about what we're talking about, insights, please share in the chat as we're going through. And with that, Ryan, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So Jason, obviously you're a very engaged partner with AWS. Could you just tell us a little bit about your partnership with us, and specifically how you got started with Amazon Connect?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's an awesome question. We started with AWS around 2017, and so Digiclarity had been around for about 5 years at that point, and had grown significantly with our application modernization that I just mentioned. And we were at that time working for a global hospitality giant, wonderful company. We were helping them modernize, move to the cloud. And their director of call center technology approached me and said, "Hey, Jason, what do you think about helping us move off of our existing telephony platform into a cloud-focused platform?" And what am I going to say to that? Of course, yeah, I'd love to help. And it turns out that product was Amazon. Well, back then it was actually Lily. So we've been working with it since it's been known as Lily all the way back in 2017. So with that opportunity, we spent most of 2018 just drinking from a fire hose, literally. I know that's used a lot, but it was training. I was finding resources to help build out a team focused and learning Amazon Connect. And back then it was the Wild West. You were learning any way possible. We were meeting with service team. We were meeting with leaders on the Connect team, doing full day immersions and trainings, just trying to get up to speed. And later, the goal was to get this customer off of their existing platform by the end of the year. The support contract was coming up, and you've got to move them. You can't have a conversation of we've got to, stay on. So pressure was on, but our team, along with their team, and it wasn't just Digi who did this. It was a whole army of folks who helped move them over. I remember very clearly, I think we were at reInvent in 2018 when they were scheduled to go live. I think it was a Wednesday. That's actually Glenn. That's where I met Glenn in all of this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's where you and Glenn met, was on that project, right?
Yeah, I was helping to lead the charge with Amazon Connect in the early days, and that large global company was really top on the list. One of the first 3 or 4 companies that onboarded to Amazon Connect. So exciting time.
It was exciting. And I remember, Glenn, I think you might have been at reInvent. Tom Gormley, you may remember him. He came up to me at the Bellagio. Everybody was nervous. He was like, "We're going live, right?" And I'm like, "I haven't heard otherwise." And then I get a message about an hour later that we're live. And so that was a huge win for AWS. It was a ginormous win for Digiclarity, and obviously for the customer as well, who we still partner with and a great partner of ours. That's how we got started in the AWS ecosystem. We were already doing things with the cloud and things like that, but that really put a rocket on us, and ever since then, we've continued. That momentum has carried us forward. We've worked with all sorts of businesses on Amazon Connect, small startups to large other Fortune 500 companies. Our focus, though, has really stayed around travel and hospitality. That's kind of a core pod that we offer. And we most recently just migrated JetBlue over to Amazon Connect late last year, and we've spent most of this year, the last 7 months or so, kind of optimizing, improving, enhancing. Vonage is doing cool stuff with Novasonic. With JetBlue, we're also doing cool stuff with Nova, helping them use AI to better understand their customers and where self-service can help save dollars. So that's really how we got started, Ryan, back in 2017, and it's been an awesome journey ever since.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've kind of got this foothold in travel and hospitality. Yep. You're able to connect with Glenn. Sounds like he called you up, and I'm going to kind of ask both of y'all now. Like, it's I know you two have been collaborating together on this SMB solution. I guess we're calling it Course of CX for SMB now. Glenn, Jason, do you want to talk about kind of how you landed on that and kind of what this opens up for our telco customers?
We had an interesting client that had a proposition. It was, how quickly can you allow a small business to self-serve 100% and deliver an end-to-end experience for that business? So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about what all Jason had done with the large hospitality company and all the automation that he did behind the scenes with DevOps expertise. And I said, "Jason, can we do this?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely. I know how to do it." And I said, "Well, okay, we need to go ahead and put together a demo, and you got to be able to show it." And that's where it all generated. And the more that we learned about the industry, the more that it became relevant as to the real value. And when we think about telcos, it's a huge opportunity for those telcos to be able to sell added value to their customers. It's not just a phone or a fixed line or network communication. It's really providing something of value that generates a business, efficiency and savings, but also build that relationship between the business and their customers.
Yeah, I think the DevOps really played a huge role in how we were able to do this. We've got an amazing team. I know Sabash is watching live out there, and he's got a wonderful team that he leads that has really just helped us tremendously to be able to say, how could we do, originally we were thinking, how can we do Connect out of the box? How could we set up Connect? Because Connect really transformed the way customers worked with cloud technology in general. I mean, you were able to go set up and you had a contact center in days. Of course, it takes time to fully set that up, but how could we take that down to minutes so that, for example, my electrician, Roman, how could he use this product in a matter of minutes? And I think it's just a testament to the years and years we've put into automation, and being able to scale that out was really the differentiator there.
I was curious, dude. I love the story about meeting at reInvent all the way back in, would you say 2018, or is it
We started 2017, and then we launched during reInvent 2018.
That's great. That's one of the coolest things been chatting with you as we've been talking about this episode was just the way you've talked about like embracing AWS services within Corsa CX. And one of the things that caught my attention was you mentioned not only does it work and can integrate with Amazon Connect, but also that the team had worked with the Amazon Nova family of foundation models, which we talked a little bit about in the first half. I'm curious, could you dive a little bit deeper and talk about what are some of the AWS services that are really core and leveraged within the solution, and any insights with something like Amazon Nova that you found with that early integration?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so Corsa, just a little background on Corsa CX. I know, for the Twitch fans out there, again, if you've ever played Gran Turismo or any of the racing games, you'll know Corsa means speed or race or fast, and that's really what Digi is all about. Is how can we get you to market very quickly, and for the small businesses, how can we get you up and running in minutes? And so that's really where that name came from. That's our name for a suite of products. We've got post-call analytics, a number of other products in the pipeline, but for this specific product for SMBs, we're leveraging a ton of different technology. So AWS Bedrock, for example, in the Nova models, we're leveraging that upon instance creation. So, Jason, imagine you're an electrician and you want to sign up for the software, and you go in and you type a little bit about your business. Well, Bedrock then takes that, understands the context, and is actually going to create starter templates based on your actual business. Now, maybe you wanted to start a pet grooming company. Then Bedrock's going to take that, understand the context, and create you a product that's relevant to the business that you're in. So that's one of the cool ways we're using AI. We want to use AI to help shape the platform for the individual business. In addition to that, we're also leveraging the Nova models all across the application in terms of, let's say, scheduling. If customers, if we want to check our schedules or use an assistant to help understand when one of our technicians are free, we can do that. Same thing for quoting and invoicing. Maybe I created an invoice for Glenn last week, and I want to then copy that invoice right over to you, Ryan. Then it's really simple to do all that with our platform. So all the Nova models are in use. Of course, deep integration with Amazon Connect and telephony. All of that's in this platform.
That's great to hear. And it's a good point. I mean, I know the life, especially talking with you and Glenn and kind of talking about things of the life of a small business owner, there's sort of often never enough time in the day. So like finding ways to use generative AI on something like Amazon Bedrock and the Nova models to help speed that journey so they can help fill in the information so they can really just focus on their business and not so much on what at AWS we'd call that undifferentiated heavy lifting. So it's really great to hear how you've integrated that.
Well, and that's just it, right? The small businesses, and like I mentioned earlier, when I was doing home remodeling, back then, I got to work with these professionals. And even today, Glenn and we've interviewed several, and we just, we had some conversations with a general contractor a few weeks ago, and one of the big struggles is, where do you find the time to go and create the quotes? I mean, these professionals are out there every day working hard, and then they get noticed, they get referrals, business is good, they're booked up for many months, and that sounds like success, right? And it is until it's not, when you're up until 1 a.m. trying to respond to customers. I think Glenn, we were talking, and one of the things he mentioned was he doesn't even read his text messages until he gets home, because he has to keep track of who even sent him a message. It's like that kind of stuff. How can we help solve those problems and help, and help these types of businesses be able to organize and scale? It's really a scaling problem. You get so far, you're doing such a great job, but then how do you then take that to the next level? Or how do you just have a life and enjoy time with your family? And that's really what our software is all about, is helping scale to whatever degree that you want.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Yep.
Do we want to?
Yeah, you want to? I think obviously we kind of talked about what's so cool about the solution is it can touch on like it can be addressable to so many different kinds of small businesses. But then, since this is a telco themed episode, it'd be great to kind of hear a little bit more between you and Glenn about how kind of that like convergence is happening, especially like what are those advantages that like, or things that a telco can offer from like those early touch points and such to really leverage and amplify from there.
Well, when you look at the industry, over 98% of small businesses, their only touch point communication is the mobile device. And if you can go ahead and enhance the way that they communicate and improve their communications with the end customer, that's very powerful. And because telecommunication companies provide mobile phones, fixed lines, they have really the pulse of those small businesses. They always go to, typically to a telco to sign up for, getting a new line or a new phone. That's a great opportunity to offer a value-added service like what Digiclarity provides. And there's when you think about the market, over 95% of the small businesses are less than 20, employees. So it's a underserved market that 60, 70% really don't use any technology at all.
Yeah, and I think it makes a ton of sense from a telco perspective, because imagine you're signing up for a new business line. Now the telco can understand your business and offer these solutions directly to their hundreds of thousands of small business customers. So I think over the years, telcos, they've invested a ton of money into infrastructure and technology, and LTE and 5G now and broadband and all of this. And how can we, so they're great at providing all of the architecture, the infrastructure, but what else can we do to help grow that business? How can we bring modern software applications as a value add for their small businesses? That's why I think this product for telcos, and we've gotten a great response. I think, Glenn, you see it. Mm-hmm. The folks are excited about being able to offer technology like this.
They are.
So is the idea this would be like an add-on feature to their existing, maybe it's not even an enterprise plan, it could just be like their own personal plan, right?
Yeah, the bundling of services, they're very familiar in doing that. And, if you think about how telcos provide services today, a lot of them, they're in this space already. They're providing unified communication services, some of them providing contact center services. So they have that expertise and understanding of the market. But now to be able to apply real value where you're generating, real business savings and time that they can produce, more revenue perhaps, is a pretty powerful opportunity for them to monetize and build the customer base that they already have.
And this opens up, what did you say, Glenn? This was 99% of the business market kind of falls in this category?
It is. And again, it's because typically in the past, it was a lot of effort to install anything, whether it's a unified communication service or, if you try to have contact center features, it was a major undertaking, and they don't have the services, service expertise. They don't have the, not only just the technical, but they don't have the resources. So having something that's 100% auto provision is really powerful and valuable to these small businesses.
Jason, do you have a point?
Well, I was just going to say, we've kind of talked about like the sort of those challenges of getting started. And Jason, I know you had shared that great video just kind of showing how simple it is. Should we look at that real quick?
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, let's show the registration, just how simple it is to get set up.
Welcome to the Corsa CX Suite. Connect for SMB platform, the smarter, faster way to run your business. Getting started takes less than a minute. From the Corsa CX Business Solutions page, just click Get Started. Fill out a few quick details, your business name, industry, size, and a short description. From there, our AI takes over. It automatically sets up your entire business portal. No technical setup, no long forms, just a ready-to-use platform built around you. Your portal becomes the central hub for your operations, allowing you to manage appointments, assign technicians, communicate with customers, and even handle invoicing, all in one place. Setting up your business platform shouldn't take days. That's why we've made it effortless, guiding you through 5 quick steps designed to get your business fully operational in minutes. It starts with choosing the features that power your operations. Whether you need to schedule appointments, send professional invoices, or build instant quotes for your customers, it's all here, ready to go. Next, make it yours with custom branding, your logo, your colors, your name. Our AI then helps you define your services, suggesting offerings based on your business type, so you're not starting from scratch. Add, edit, or launch with our recommendations. Support is already live. Your number works right away, with voice flows, hold music, and customer voice experience set up and tested. And finally, just confirm your business name and address. That's it. A complete platform, built to help you onboard customers, communicate, send invoices, and get paid. Technicians get a personalized dashboard where they can track upcoming jobs, while customers enjoy a simple booking process, selecting the service they need, entering their details, and choosing a time that works for them. For technicians, logging in is easy. Just enter your email and password to access your dashboard and see all your appointments. Assigning technicians is just as easy. Review open requests and approved, match the right person to the right job, and keep everything moving smoothly. For even more convenience, Corsa CX offers the Connect Small Business mobile app. Just open the app, scan the QR code to log in, and enter your password. You can manage it all on the go. Log in, view appointments, respond to requests, anytime, anywhere. This is the power of the Corsa CX platform. Fully automated, fully integrated, ready to onboard customers, schedule work, communicate, and get paid.
Wow. Oh, that says wow.
That's really the idea, and that was just a quick, high level, but it's really that simple to go in and get going. And we of course integrate in with other platforms like QuickBooks and Xero and things like that as well. So we wanted to just we know that these types of businesses are so busy helping and serving their customers. How could we make something approachable? And it's not like technology doesn't exist in this area. It does, but it's a little difficult and can take a lot of time to get ramped up. And my electrician Roman, he doesn't have the time. He's busy out doing jobs, working for his customers to get set up. So that's why we've spent a ton of time, Glenn and I both, working with folks in this field, tying it back to my experience working with these guys many years ago. But it's not just for home services businesses either. I mean, think mobile car wash. We're working with some small startups as well. Fill in the blank travel is one of our partners here who is going to help adapt this to the travel agency world and tourism and things like that. It's really any small business can take advantage of this.
That's great. I love it on the video. You can kind of see that auto populating. That's the part where like the Bedrock comes into play, right?
Correct.
Where you can automatically find those similar themes or keywords or descriptions.
Totally. Well, we recommend services based on the type of business, right? And so if I come in and I'm an HVAC company, then my invoices are going to be tailored to that way. We're going to be talking about things that are related to that specific industry versus maybe I'm a pet salon owner. Then the scheduling is going to be different. You're going to be bringing your little furry friend or pet to us, and we'll schedule that way. So it totally adapts based on the type of business that you are.
Now, a differentiator is the native voice integration in the inbound, right? Could you talk a little bit about that, Glenn or Jason, and kind of how this is, really a game changer?
Totally. And I think you saw Vonage speak a little bit about this in the show just a few minutes ago. And that's really where we're taking this. We want to make it totally simple for a small business to get a number, reuse their existing number, and have a fully built out contact center. Imagine you're an electrician and you're out working on job sites all day, and you've got customers who are calling you. We're trying to do a pool remodel, and we've had to call multiple contractors, and sometimes they just don't answer. And so what do? Well, you call the next one, and that's just they're not answering because they don't want to. It's just they're out working on other jobs and helping their existing customers. So how can we solve that problem? And I think what Vonage had brought up, the speech-to-speech automated assistant, that's something we're baking into this platform as well with Novasonic, where we want to have we want to allow small businesses to have their customers call in and to be able to do a lookup about who that customer calling is and what jobs have been done, and allow them to schedule and do basic level self-service so that I'm not getting voicemail and then calling a different contractor. We want to help them scale and continue to drive revenue.
Love it. I know we're close. We've had a great discussion so far. I was curious, Jason, I know we had a couple extra example videos we could look at, and also just closing thoughts. Anywhere you'd like to start to wrap us up?
I think totally. I think let's take a look at the one of the things for small businesses is, how do you know what time they're going to arrive? We were doing, like I mentioned, we were calling pool contractors, and we had somebody show up a day earlier. That's fine, but we didn't know that they were on their way. And so technology, really quickly on the trades specifically, that industry is growing and it's becoming ever important, especially in the world of AI, where there's a lot of uncertainty about jobs. But at least right now, there's not an AI powered robot that's going to go tunnel underneath your house to fix your main drain. So I'm really bullish on the trades and technology coming to this area. So we wanted to bring down technology from think rideshare or DoorDash. So let's queue up the live tracking demo.
Welcome to the Corsa CX Suite. Connect for SMB platform, the smarter, faster way to run your business. Getting started takes less than a minute. From the Corsa CX Business Solutions page, just click Get Started. Fill out a few quick details, your business name, industry, size, and a short description. From there, our AI takes over. It automatically sets up your entire business portal. No technical setup, no long forms, just a ready-to-use platform built around you. Your portal becomes the central hub for your operations, allowing you to manage appointments, assign technicians, communicate with customers, and even handle invoicing, all in one place. Setting up your business platform shouldn't take days. That's why we've made it effortless, guiding you through 5 quick steps designed to get your business fully operational in minutes. It starts with choosing the features that power your operations. Whether you need to schedule appointments, send professional invoices, or build instant quotes for your customers, it's all here, ready to go. Next, make it yours with custom branding, your logo, your colors, your name. Our AI then helps you define your services, suggesting offerings based on your business type, so you're not starting from scratch. Add, edit, or launch with our recommendations. Support is already live. Your number works right away, with voice flows, hold music, and customer voice experience set up and tested. And finally, just confirm your business name and address. That's it. A complete platform built.
All right. Sorry that we had a little bit of a crosswire. We're going to show, I think Jason was part of it was like showing at how we've gotten so attuned to Uber, DoorDash, and kind of those experience of being able to see right. Where is my service coming? Where is that? And so we had queued up the wrong one on our side, but that was what you're going to see. And actually, we're just about out of time too. So I was going to say, Jason, any last 10, 20-second thoughts before we wrap up? We really appreciate you joining today.
No, yeah, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. For more information about the product, just definitely go out to website digiclarity.com/SMB. If you know or work with any contractors that you think might be a good fit for this product, we have a private beta that's live right now. Would love to onboard more. And if you're a telco or you work with other small businesses, check out our partners page at digiclarity.com/partners, and let's see how we can work together.
And you're on Marketplace as well?
Marketplace, absolutely.
Yeah,
thanks. Yeah, we're on AWS Marketplace. Search for Corsa CX or Digiclarity out there if you're looking to take a look on the Marketplace side.
Thanks again, Jason. It's been awesome to hear the insights, just kind of how you serve those small businesses and in a really interesting way and leverage AI. It's just very unique. I haven't heard a story quite like it. So I really appreciate you sharing with us today. And Ryan, Glenn, as well, thanks you for bringing your expertise from the industry. And with that, we're going to start to wrap up. So thanks everyone for watching today. This again was Industries Live. We stream every other week on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. So please follow the social media page that you're on right now. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with an episode on financial services. So look out for that, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.